Welcome to Soapdish. Bold and beautiful style today, Teri. How are you?
I'm good. I've missed you.
I know, me too. I've missed you. We were
Ugh.
just talking before we started recording. It's been
hmm
almost a month since we've done this soap dish with Bold, with
That's
Teri.
crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
We
you've been keeping up on The Young and the Restless with Luann.
kind of, yeah, but we've had a
Yeah?
couple of open weeks there too. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a little easier. She's retired, Teri, so she's got time.
Ah. Good for her.
So we've got a lot to cover today. So
Oh, we do.
let's get at it.
Okay.
Okay, so last you and I talked,
hmm
Sheila was just being arrested and was being carted off to jail. So that's where we kind of leave off, or where we're picking up today.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
the current storyline has done a lot of concentrating. You and I have talked a lot about this, but it seems like they tend to narrow their storylines more than they maybe did years ago. And that kind of started with COVID.
hmm
But Thomas, Hope, and Liam are kind of the favorite topic, along with a couple others that are kind of going on.
Yeah.
But
N-
we'll cover those. But um, I want to get your thoughts on this. But Liam is just silly, stupid, obsessed, jealous of
I'm really
Thomas,
sick of that.
isn't he?
What a whiny, ugh, and always running to Steffi. It's like,
Yeah, running to
really?
Steffi.
What is the matter with you? Buck up. I mean, don't be so, I could see why she'd go after Thomas at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, you're being kind of a weenie. Don't whining weenie.
he's a wiener, and
Maybe that's his new
he
that's
kind of
his new
also
name.
acts like an old biddy, like an old biddy.
Yes.
Like this
But
gossiping old biddy.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm tired of him. I'd
yeah.
like that. Well, I'm pretty sure we both may have some predictions about this,
I'm
but
pretty
yeah,
sure. By the way,
yeah.
Teri, I forgot to mention that today is draft day in the NFL.
Oh,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Mark Taylor's going to be doing a lot of NFL Network, ESPN kind of stuff this weekend, and that's why I'm wearing my Vikings garb.
okay. All right. Well, I was wondering.
You're wondering what the hell's wrong with him? It's not football season.
Aren't the Twins playing today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the hell? He's got his Vikings stuff on. Anyway, what
So,
most of that jealousy is around is the long hours. I was just going to mention that, but
yes.
because they're
Yes.
working long hours and he's afraid of an office romance. So
Yeah. Well, and yeah. But yeah. Okay.
all right, let's move on. So
Yes.
recently, Brooke, I thought this was interesting. So recently, Brooke had a talk with Hope that she was so happy that she does not go after the bad boys like Brooke, did in her younger years.
Yeah.
Uh, had a long history of doing, actually. So
Yes. Repeatedly.
yeah, and
Oh yeah.
Hope's reaction was interesting because she had started to start to daydream,
Mm-hmm.
fantasize, not really, but kind of.
Fantasize.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
about she and Thomas. So she's really struggling with that because she always has been the good girl, and now it's kind of like she's it's screwing with her head.
She's
It's screwing with her
Yeah,
head.
it is. And that whole thing about, you thought that they brought up how she thought he was hot.
Yeah.
So, there's a
So
lot
what?
of people you can still think are really good looking. Doesn't mean you want to sleep with them. But the other thing is, um, when she
Where are
went
you going
right
with this, Teri?
after, well, when she went right after uh, Liam, after hanging out with Thomas, and then she's like, they have the wild sex night, and suddenly she's seeing Thomas's face, and then
That's right.
they have this woohoo time, and she runs up to yell at her mom. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
And it's
I
like,
do.
uh, I think we may know where this is going. And it was weird. And then Liam goes up to find that was a bizarre scene, I thought. What
Yeah,
did you think?
I
Yeah.
agree. The whole
Okay.
series of events there were just weird.
Yeah. Okay, but
I think they're trying really hard to. The writers are trying really hard to. I don't know, make their point here. I mean, we
yeah,
get it, right? We get it.
yes, yeah,
Uh, that was interesting, but yeah, I agree. Very bizarre.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, uh, this is a little factoid that the research department here found at Soapdish.
Hmm.
According to B&B, 7 actors are set to go on remote to do some live shooting in filming scenes in Italy. So the actors and actresses that are going are going to be Lang, who plays Brooke, Thorsten Kaye, who plays Ridge, Jacqueline MacInnes Wood, who plays Steffy, Annika Hope, who plays Hope, I'm sorry, Scott Clifton, who plays Liam, and Matthew Atkinson, which should make it interesting, who plays Thomas, and Carter, Lawrence St. Victor. They're traveling across the Atlantic to do this filming. So that's interesting.
That's an interesting mix.
Mm-hmm. From a
Why would
storyline
Carter
standpoint.
go?
Yeah.
Yeah, and why is Carter going?
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'll hold that thought.
And the other thought is, so we've got Brooke and Ridge going to Italy. Taylor won't be there.
Right.
That's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
And Hope, and why is Liam going? Thomas, I could see. But you remember the days, this reminds me of some of those days when they had their fashion shows out there, and Sally Spectra was fighting. Those were fun.
Yeah.
I miss those.
And the filming, the scenery was gorgeous.
Yes.
And
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, this will be interesting to see what happens.
Because see how they twist those storylines, etc. So next, let's talk about RJ, who is actually Ridge Forrester Jr. all of a sudden makes an appearance back on the show this week. Interesting.
That was awkward.
Very awkward. Actually, he's not a bad actor, but I felt like the storyline, the lines that the actors were given was awkward.
Yes. That I was it made me uncomfortable. I'm sitting there thinking, this is not, I don't like it. But we'll see how it evolves. I think it's going to evolve into something pretty interesting.
I do too. But what's interesting is that scene, as you said, was weird and creepy. But so is the whole, so I don't know what they're doing, because so is the whole Brooke Taylor kind of Ridge storyline it's just too warm and fuzzy. It's too warm and fuzzy. It's too fake.
Yeah, it is. And I think there's some things that are definitely going to happen. We've got a lot of predictions, I think, coming up. The two of us.
So the whole, when I say fake, it makes me wonder if the whole show is fake. I'm really starting to question that now.
You just said that out loud.
That was a very bold statement.
Yes. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's interesting. We both noticed how completely awkward that felt.
So clearly it's probably not just us. It's probably our listeners.
Oh, I'm sure. And what I found, like, on today's show was Katie and Carter in bed. Okay, I think that's the first time we've seen that. And then she asked about Quinn. We can get to that later, but it was just like, oh, that was an odd thing to
I can see that question maybe coming up later in a relationship, but that early, it's a little weird. I agree. So let's talk real quickly about the other. No, that's fine. Let's talk quickly about the other storyline that's going on. Dollar Bill recently showed up at Forrester Creations, and he finds Katie and Carter in one of the offices, and Katie basically says, you can say whatever you have to say in front of Carter, so he does. And Bill professes his love for Katie, and he's taking no prisoners. I was thinking, neither one of them guys are really fighters, but that would be a fun fight to see Bill and Carter, because they're both pretty big dudes.
I think Carter could take him, though.
Oh, I do too. He's
yeah. Yep. And younger.
Much younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. That was interesting.
This is going to cause problems yet, but we can talk more about that in predictions. And then lastly, today, real quickly, Steffy visits Sheila in prison, as others have. There's kind of been this brigade of people that have gone to see and kind of tell off or really give it to Sheila.
And honestly, if you have somebody that much of a psycho, I would have no desire to go confront and rub it in and go, nah, 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 nah. Only because she's completely psycho and she's going to get out.
Right. Eventually. One way or the other. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like, why do you just, hey, she's in, back away.
It's the old poke.
Be grateful.
It's the old don't poke the bear.
Yes, that's exactly it.
All right, so I have a new segment today, Teri, that I started because we took some time.
Yeah.
Super Sudsy Questions.
Yes.
It kind of is almost
a
prediction segment, but it kind of asks the questions of what's going on currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if my first question for you and I both is, if Hope made a move on Thomas, would he resist?
No, he wouldn't resist. No, I don't think so.
That was pretty blunt.
Yep. What about you?
Yeah, no, I was just kind of teasing you because I would totally agree. There's no way. Although, he keeps... They might... I don't know, Teri. I can see the writers having him play hard to get a little bit because he's kind of been swearing to everybody that he will not screw up Liam and Hope's marriage. So...
Well, and if that might be even more tempting to her...
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, that's sudsy. Okay.
Because for a girl, if she's really kind of got her eyes set on a guy and he's being resistive, I would think that would... You'd have to answer that, Teri. But
yeah, no, that would be... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, and go a little harder at it.
Right.
Yeah. I did
All right,
not. I did not mean it the way that sounded. Your face just turned red.
I had to I turned red because I had to make a quick decision. Am I going to pursue this or not? What you said or not? I was going to say, could you be more clear, Teri? But I won't ask.
Okay, I won't answer.
All right. For fear you could incriminate yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So so we talked a little bit about RJ. What's RJ Forrester's story? What do you think they're going to do with that?
I thought that was pretty interesting that they would bring him back. And the one thing that he said was, I'm half Logan and half Forrester. And that's really an interesting line because that puts him in a really terrible position. And Thomas kept bringing up to Taylor about, well, now that RJ's back, almost like it would be his fault if Brooke and Ridge got back together. I feel sorry for RJ. I think, and that whole wanting to stay out of the family drama, yeah, I could see that, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
And I'm trying to remember historically, but if I recall correctly, that was part of why he left originally. Because of exactly what you said, is that it was just too difficult for him to figure out, well, how the hell do I fit into this thing,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
All right. So next question, Teri. Let me comment. I'll comment a little bit on RJ because I think,
Yes.
and plug your ears if you don't want to hear this, but I read somewhere
Okay.
that he's coming back because he has a love child and he's got to figure out how he's going to deal with that and pay for it, et cetera, et cetera. You know, all the things that we know go along with it. It's probably more involved than that, but there's some speculation out there that that's what it could be.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I do
Okay.
think there's something motivating his coming back. He's not just coming back to come back.
No.
There's an angle here, and like you said earlier in this podcast, that you think there's a lot they can do with it, and I agree with that story, and I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And that whole influencer thing. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't make a lot of money at that.
Well, I was going to
But
say
okay.
I don't know that that's a huge moneymaker.
I don't think so.
What will happen with Ridge's love life? Do you have any predictions, Teri?
Yeah, I do. Because I do think that he has been trending toward Brooke. And Brooke clearly still wants him. And
Oh, you
her
think
and
so?
Taylor, yeah, yeah, I do. Especially after the night in the nighty
Oh, yeah,
when
that's right.
he was
I
still,
forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm quite certain that she would, but I hope that they don't make it icky and she just runs right back into his arms. I really hope that they don't do that, that they take a little bit more concern and care how they do it. But I do think she'll go. I think Taylor is right when Thomas asked her, do you think that that's going to draw them together? And I think regardless, they were going to get
Yeah.
back together again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How
can
about
see
you?
that.
What do you think about it?
I think you're right, and I think what's going to happen. I think there's going to be more involved with this trip that they're taking to Italy, as you and I touched on. I think that that's going to provide quite an opportunity for Ridge and Brooke to get back together.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Taylor is just she's gorgeous. She's a fox.
Mm-hmm. And she should get some other guy
I know,
besides
because I've been
Ridge.
on Team
She needs
Taylor
an
for a long time here.
I know you have. And we all know you have.
Oh, was
But
it? I tried to not make it that obvious.
yeah, well, you might want to try
I
harder.
didn't succeed.
Um,
No,
no. But it's adorable.
thank you.
I think Taylor definitely they need to get her somebody better. And honestly, for half a second, I thought it might be Bill,
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
but
And who knows? I mean,
it
it could
it,
still circle back to that
it
that
could because
happening, but we'll see.
he may need help
Oh,
getting over all
psychological help.
his yes after all
Yeah,
his dealings with Sheila.
and
Could
or
be a
once he
prediction.
yeah, and or once he realizes he's not getting Katie back.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so my next question for you is: what will happen with the whole Thomas, Hope, and Liam love triangle? Your thoughts?
You know, I definitely think that's gonna come to a head, and I think Hope is gonna do something. But
With
I think
Thomas?
maybe yeah. But I think that RJ he might see it,
Ooh,
or for some reason I think that he might blame Thomas when it's not Thomas's fault.
this time, yeah.
And that's gonna, yep. And I think that could be nasty, depending on how that works out. But, um, there were also predictions, I think, that Douglas was trying to get Hope and Thomas together. Do you remember that? That was
Yeah.
before had to have been at least 6 weeks ago. And since then, we haven't seen Douglas or any of that. So I don't know, but I remember hearing that and thinking, I could see Douglas working to get them together. But then again, maybe he'll end up being like RJ, where the next thing you know, he's
You're
in
shipped off.
college or, who knows. But
So I did read also that Douglas actually is not on the show right now because he was involved in some kind of a sports injury and he's recovering from that.
oh,
Yeah.
I hope he does
Yeah, I don't think it
well.
was serious, but it was just something where,
Good.
you know,
He's a
All right.
he's a
he's a
cool
good little
kid.
actor.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if he's any Barney Rubble, but he's a good actor.
I thought you were gonna say Barney Fife. Where's my bullet?
Well, that could be true, too. So where do you think, Terry, the next question is, so where do you think the dollar bill Katie Carter situation is headed?
I think Bill is going to definitely try and woo Katie. Katie's going to have tears in her eyes. And I think she'll consider it. I hope that she turns him down. Because what bothers me is that in the conversations that they have had, she's never said, what about Brooke? You love Brooke.
Yeah.
So even if he wants Katie, he's still been in love with her sister. That, as a woman, that would be a deal breaker.
No kidding.
Sorry. See ya.
Well, especially after that scene some time ago where he, within an hour, professed his love to both of them. And I think Katie
And Carter heard it.
And Carter heard it.
Yeah.
So, like you as a woman, like you said, Terry, that's got to be a deal breaker.
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah.
All right. Oh, so I'll make a comment and then we'll move on.
Yes.
I would say, because it's kind of, you were speculating earlier why Carter would be going over to this Italy thing. I think what that does, I think they're doing that to open the door for Bill. Mm-hmm. That while he's over there, Bill's going to be trying to woo Katie back.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're exactly right. And the weird part is Katie is one that should be there in Italy because of the position she holds at Forrester Creations. So it doesn't really make sense except for that kind of a situation.
To get him out of the way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And last question, is Deacon going to be able to get over Sheila? Your thoughts?
No, I don't think he will. And there's a prediction. He's going to figure out a way to get her out. She's going to get out of prison. And Deacon's going to have a hand in it. That's what I think.
Good minds think alike. That's why I put this question in there, is because I thought the same thing, Terry.
Yeah. How do you think he'll do it? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. Well, first I have to ask you a question. So remind me, whatever happened to our favorite corrections officer? Is he still there?
Oh, he's in jail.
He's in jail.
He's in a cell.
That's right.
Yep.
I was trying to remember back because I was thinking somehow if he was still working, and now that you say that, I remember it. I was thinking that Deacon would reach out to him and have him figure out a way to help him get her out. But I think it's still going to be something along those lines. Somehow there's going to be a connection made, or, you know what I mean? He's going to be able to influence a way for her to get out of there.
And at the end, or before Steffi showed up at the jail, and why is she still in county jail, by the way?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Shouldn't she be in, isn't a felony a federal offense? Or a murder?
No, I mean, it is feasible she'd still be in county jail.
Oh,
because
it is?
pending.
Okay.
There's no federal charge here.
Oh, okay.
To where it still would fall back. Now, once she's sentenced, then she'd go off to state prison.
Okay. So, that's a
because
lot
it
of
is a felony, like
responsibility
you
for
said.
a county jail.
most county jails are able to hold inmates for. It's always been, and they've made some exceptions because of overpopulation, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been up to a year sentence. And so if you get a sentence longer than a year, historically in Minnesota, you would end up going off to a state prison. And if there's a federal charge, then you'd probably go off to a federal prison.
Okay.
That's kind of how it works. And Minnesota is not unlike other states. There might be a little bit of variance there, but that's pretty common.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe she'll get out in a laundry basket.
Oh. I can see that, but I still think, I don't know, I think it's going to take somebody's help. Somebody else's help, but we'll see. I mean,
and it'll be a man.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Because she's got powers of persuasion.
Yes, she does.
That's a lot, Teri.
Yep. I don't know, though. I feel lighter having talked with you.
It's like counseling. It's like...
Yeah, it is.
It's a therapy session here at Soapdish.
It really is. Yep.
All right. Well, we covered a lot, Teri.
We did.
Let's say goodbye and until we dish again. And we're out.